Welcome, good morning. My name is Erin, and this will be a 1 hour all levels vinyasa flow. And if you're newer to yoga, it's helpful to have blocks and a blanket handy, but no particular props needed today. And we'll start in a comfortable seat, either Sukhasana, one leg crossed in front of the other. If you tend to cross one leg in front, usually your dominant leg, option to try crossing the other leg in front might feel a little bit different. Either way, ground down through your sits bones and start to settle into your most comfortable seat. Let the hands relax to the lap or the knees. And as you feel ready, close the eyes and the mouth. Start to turn off sensation around you, going inward for a few moments here as you begin to check in with your breath. If you're taking this class in the morning, maybe it's the first time you've checked in with your breath today. And yoga, striving to breathe in and out through the nose. And as you begin to notice your breath, start to draw air all the way to the belly. In my classes this week, I'm focusing on the theme of ladder sequences, where we'll take a sequence of asanas or postures holding for 5 or 10 breaths each pose, and then we'll take that same sequence on the breath. So on that note, I thought I would revisit a passage from one of my favorite yoga books called The Heart of Yoga by TKV Desikachar. And in chapter 3, this is what he describes about asana postures and pranayama breath control. The practice of yoga gives us the chance to experience the many different meanings of the word yoga. We've already described yoga as a movement from one point to another, higher point that was previously beyond our reach. It doesn't matter, however, whether this shift comes about through practicing asanas, through study and reading, or through meditation. It is all still yoga. In our practice, we concentrate on the body, the breath, and the mind. Our senses are included as part of the mind in a yoga framework. Although it appears possible for body, breath, and mind to work independently, the purpose of yoga is to unify their actions. Much more important than outer physical manifestations of yoga practice is the way we feel the postures and the breath. So as we begin to add movement today, I invite you to take those words into your practice, really focusing on breath coming first, movement following. If you haven't already, lightly constrict the back of your throat, cultivating your Ujjayi pranayama, yogic victory breath control. If you're newer to yoga, a good place to start is any deep diaphragmatic breath, where you're actively expanding the belly on the inhale and contracting the belly up under the lower ribs on the exhale. Take a couple more breaths here. Find a pace of breath you can maintain as we build heat. With your next exhale, open the eyes. Keep the breath moving as we prepare to move. And then if the legs are crossed or you're in half lotus, switch the cross of the legs, opposite leg in front or on top. Ground down through the sits bones. Setting up for an easy spinal twist here. Next inhale, reach the arms up, palms touch. Exhale, right hand behind, left hand outside the right leg. Draw that right hand close toward the body. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist to the right. Keep the torso tall here, and then start to work your right shoulder back, gaze turning back. Sukhasana twist, and breathe. Option to wrap the right arm behind the back, fingers toward the outer left hip, if you're ready to deepen. And next inhale, reach both arms forward and up, just a breath. Exhale, left hand behind, right hand outside the left leg. Work those left fingers toward the back of the body. Deep inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, twist to the left. Pull the left shoulder back. Maybe gaze turns all the way to the left shoulder. And breathe. Inhaling through the nose. Exhaling through the nose. Option to wrap the left hand behind the back, fingers to the outer right hip. One more Ujjayi breath cycle here. Next, inhale, arms forward and up, just a breath. Exhale, hands behind the body, fingers pointed toward you, and then start to lift the chest up, squeeze the shoulder blades together. Stay here, lift the sits bones off the mat, coming to the knees, maybe head and neck release back. Arms are active here, pressing through all the knuckles of the fingers. Take one more inhale, lift the chest up. Exhale back to a seat and roll over the ankles, meet me in tabletop pose, coming to hands and knees. We'll find full body engagement here, starting with the palms. Spread your fingers wide and then press down through all the knuckles of the fingers, including the thumbs, shoulders over wrists, hips over knees. Toes can be tucked or untucked and start to pull the rib cage in and up. Next, inhale, drop the belly, lift the chest, Marjayasana. Exhale, chin to chest, pull the belly in, Bhitivasana. Moving through cow-cats, coming back to that quote with which we opened our practice, letting the breath inform the movement. You're welcome to linger anywhere that feels good. And know that tabletop and cow-cats are a great shape to take if you need rest during a practice. You can also always find cow-cats instead of moving through a vinyasa flow. After your next exhale, meet me in neutral tabletop, whole body engaged, pressing down through the palms. Good, take an inhale, send the right leg back, reach the left arm forward, thumb up. We'll find some movement on the breath here. Inhale, reach through fingers and toes. Exhale, elbow to knee, crunch. Inhale, extend, keep the gaze low. Exhale, crunch. Once more, inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch, and release to tabletop. Reset, shoulders over wrists, and we'll go right to the second side. Next, inhale, send the left leg back, right arm forward, thumb up. Press down through the left fingers. Inhale, lengthen through arm and leg. Exhale, elbow to knee, crunch. Inhale, extend, grow long. Exhale, crunch. Once more, inhale, extend. Exhale, crunch, release. Send your knees wide, big toes touch. Press your hips back, Balasana, child's pose. And then either let the arms relax to make this restorative or tent up on the fingertips. Walk your fingers away from your head and press back through the hips. Forehead to the mat, always an option here to slide a block under the forehead. And then come back to your Ujjayi breath. Smooth it out if it grew choppy. Throughout our practice, you're welcome to come here, tabletop or down dog, anytime you need. With an inhale, press forward to hands and knees. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. Option to keep a bend in the knees here as you warm up the hamstrings, backs of the legs. Eventually, we're working to straighten the legs, energetically driving heels toward the mat. And then check back in with the palms, fingers spread wide. Imagining someone pressing your palms to the mat. Let the back of the neck relax fully. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Next, inhale, roll forward to plank, Phalakasana. We'll stay here in plank pose, inner elbows energetically drawing in, Heels pressing back. You can always lower the knees for less intensity. Either way, chest reaching forward of the shoulders, and breathe. Take an inhale here. Exhale, send the hips up and back, downward facing dog. Inhale back to plank, just a breath. Exhale, up and back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, roll forward to plank. Exhale, hips up and back. And this time, inhale, roll forward. On the exhale, lower knees, chest, and chin. Keep your buttocks lifted. Really press your toes to the mat here. Palms under shoulders, chin to the mat, gaze comes forward. Ashtanga Namaskar. And then draw the shoulders down and away from the ears, maybe forearms plant on the mat here. Next, inhale, slide to the belly, hover palms and knees. Classical cobra, we keep the toes tucked, kneecaps lift off the mat, and then squeeze your shoulder blades together. Deep inhale, lift the rib cage up. Exhale through knees or plank, back to downward facing dog. 3 Ujjayi breaths here, in and out through the nose. Maybe starting to straighten the legs a bit more, and breathe. Good, next inhale, gaze comes forward, come up on the tiptoes. And then slowly as you can, tiptoe toward the hands. We're working to get all the way on the tops of the toes, almost like a ballet dancer here. In your own time, meet me at the top of the mat in a forward fold. 2 options here for less intensity. Bring your feet hips distance apart, or you can bring feet together, big toes touching, heels an inch or 2 apart. And then we'll just let the arms hang heavy. If your palms fully touch the mat, you can flip your hands over, fingers pointing back, getting a little wrist massage. Either way, start to draw the weight forward to the toes. Good, Uttanasana. In our forward fold, we're working to stack hips over knees, knees over ankles. If you found movement, come through center, fold forward, find stillness. And then take a deep bend in the knees, bring both hands to the hips. Press down through the feet. Inhale, slowly roll up. Exhale, shoulders back and down. Release the arms. Tadasana, our first mountain pose. Whole body is engaged here, just like in tabletop. We'll start with the feet, spread through the toes, and then engage the kneecaps. Feel the quads tighten. Squeeze your glutes together, palms toward the sides of the body. Soften your gaze. Preparing for classical Surya Namaskar, sun salutes on the breath. Breath comes first, movement follows. Inhale, palms to heart center. Exhale, roll the shoulders back. Inhale, reach arms forward and up. Exhale, reach forward and fold. Right foot steps back. Inhale, lower right knee. Good, exhale back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, forward to plank. Option to lower knees here. Exhale, lower knees, chest, chin. Tuck your elbows to the ribs. Inhale, slide forward. Hover palms and knees. Exhale back. Downward facing dog. Left foot steps forward. Inhale, lower right knee. Exhale, step up and fold. Inhale to rise, arms forward and up. Exhale, heart center, second side. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Left foot back. Inhale, lower left knee. Exhale back. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, roll forward. Phalakasana. Exhale, knees, chest, chin, Ashtanga Namaskar. Inhale, slide forward, Bhujangasana. Exhale, back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Right foot forward, inhale, lower left knee. Exhale, step up and fold. Inhale to rise, press the hips forward. Exhale, heart center, again like this. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Right foot back, inhale. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, roll forward, Phalakasana. Exhale, lower, Ashtanga Namaskar. Inhale, slide forward, Bhujangasana. Exhale, back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Left foot forward, inhale. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise. Exhale, heart. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Left foot back, inhale. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, roll forward, Phalakasana. Exhale, lower, Ashtanga Namaskar. Inhale, slide forward, Bhujangasana. Exhale, back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Left foot forward, inhale. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise. Exhale, heart. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Left foot back, inhale. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Inhale, forward, Phalakasana. Exhale, lower, Ashtanga Namaskar. Inhale, forward, Bhujangasana. Exhale, back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Right foot forward, inhale. Exhale, fold, Uttanasana. Inhale, rise. Exhale, heart. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Right foot, inhale. Exhale, press back. Inhale, roll forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, slide forward. Exhale, press back. Left foot, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, heart. Last side. Inhale, rise. Exhale, fold. Left foot, inhale. Exhale, press back. Inhale, roll forward. Exhale, lower. Inhale, slide forward. Exhale, press back. Right foot, inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise. Exhale, heart, and release the arms. Come back to Tadasana, top of the mat. Check in with your feet, spread through the toes, and then close down the eyes. Body is active here, face muscles are soft. Take an inhale, lift all 10 toes off the mat, and slowly lower one toe at a time. Articulate those movements through the toes. Twice more on your breath. Good. After your third round, press down through both feet. And then open the eyes, adding on. Modern Surya Namaskar A on the breath. Inhale, arms out and up, palms touch. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, half lift, fingers to shins. Exhale to plank, lower on the same exhale to the belly, elbows to ribs. Untuck your toes, modern cobra, palms and feet on the mat. Exhale, press back, Adho Mukha Svanasana, and hold about 5 breaths here. In modern sun salutes, we take 5 breaths each time we find downward facing dog. The goal being to cultivate a steady pace of breath, even as the heart rate increases here. Relax the neck fully, maybe gaze turns up between the inner thighs. With an inhale, gaze forward and step or float the feet between the hands, top of the mat. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms out and up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, release the arms. Inhale to rise. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. And exhale, step back to downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Deep Ujjayi breath here. So we'll start our ladder sequence, holding each pose, and then we'll take that same sequence on the breath. From down dog, inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, step between the hands, lower your back knee for low lunge. Front knee over ankle, inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, shoulders back and down. Rotate your pinky fingers toward one another. Anjaneyasana. And breathe. Option to untuck your back toes as we hold here, letting that left hip crease drop toward the mat. Maybe palms come to touch, gaze turns up, slight back bend. Good. Horse pose. Deep inhale here. On the exhale, right arm down your back leg, left arm lifts up, exalted low lunge, maybe back bending a bit deeper, and breathe. Beautiful. Really reach through those left fingers, straighten the left arm. Next inhale, reach both arms up. Exhale, palms to heart center, thumbs to heart, and twist to the right. We'll stay upright here, torso standing tall. Start to work your gaze over the right shoulder. And then check in with that front leg, the right hip rolled out, pull it in toward the belly. Good, and breathe. Parivrtta Parshva Konasana variation. Tuck your back toes if they're untucked. Inhale, reach your arms up. Exhale, palms inside your front foot. Lift up on your back toes for lizard lunge. Right knee drawing into the right shoulder. Palms are still shoulder distance apart here. Fingers spread wide. And then shift your gaze forward. Chest comes forward. Length from the back of your head all the way to that left heel. Good, we're working to stack that back heel over the toes. And then while we're holding, if you have the space, option to lower to the forearms here. Fingers spread wide. If you lower and that right knee rolls out, press back up to your palms. Otherwise, keep drawing that right knee in. Uttan Krishnasana. If you lowered, inhale, press back up to the palms. Find your lizard lunge. Take one more inhale here. Exhale, walk your hands to the long edge of the mat. Wide-legged forward fold. Prasarita Padottanasana A. Maybe not your deepest fold here as we're still awakening the hamstrings. The palms touch the mat. You can plant through the hands. Draw the crown of the head toward the mat. If you feel ready to try headstand, you're welcome to move there here. Otherwise, just keeping palms shoulder distance apart. Even with the legs spread wide, draw your elbows into the rib cage, just like your yoga push-up. If the hands are further forward than the feet, walk them back and breathe. Good. Slow, steady breaths if you're moving toward inversion. And if you did invert, start to make your way back to your wide-legged forward fold. From here, we'll be rotating in a moment toward the back of the mat. We'll take that same sequence facing the back of your mat with the left leg. Take an inhale, tent up on the fingertips, half lift. Exhale, walk your hands to frame your left foot, back of the mat, and then lower your right knee. Inhale, reach the arms up, low lunge, Anjaneyasana. Good. So this might feel a little funny, facing the back of the mat. It's a nice way to really practice balance by shifting our orientation. Same thing if you go to a studio, it can be nice to move to a different spot in the room. Option to untuck your back toes here, right hip crease dropping toward the mat. And maybe palms come to touch for a slight back bend. If you do lift the gaze up, keep drawing the weight out of the lower back by reaching through the arms. Good, really press down through that left big toe for balance. Anjaneyasana. Deep inhale here. Exhale, left arm down the back leg. Reach the right arm high, spread the fingers. Exalted low lunge. Good, maybe deepening the back bend here and breathe. Next, inhale, both arms reach. Exhale, palms to heart center, Anjali Mudra, and then twist to the left. Once more, torso stays upright here. Left elbow pointing back, right elbow pointing forward. If balance is a challenge, you can retuck your toes here. And breathe. Parivrtta Parshva Konasana variation. Revolved side angle. Next, inhale, reach the arms up, just a breath. Exhale, plant the hands inside your left foot. Lift up on your back toes for lizard lunge, Uttam Prishtasana. Long line from back of the head to that right heel stacking over toes. Striving to keep contact between the left knee and the left shoulder. Each inhale, crown of the head reaches forward. And on the exhale, right hip comes closer toward the mat. If you have the space, option to lower to the forearms here. Forearms should be parallel. Fingers spread wide. And breathe. If you lowered, next inhale, press back up to the palms. Find your lizard lunge. Good, take one more inhale here. Exhale, hands to the long edge of the mat, back to your wide-legged fold. And again, two options here. First, turn your big toes slightly in, and then either stay in your forward fold or move towards Shalamba Shirshasana 3. If you're newer to tripod headstand, I'll demo that here. If that's in your practice, you're welcome to go there now. Starting with crown of the head to the mat, palms shoulder distance apart. Draw your elbows in. To start, stack your knees on the backs of your triceps. Maybe big toes draw together, heels draw toward the body. Option to try straightening one or both legs by drawing the knees to the chest, becoming a little egg shape here, and then sending the legs toward the sky. If that feels really easy, you can also lift from your wide-legged fold. Legs out and up. Beautiful. If you move toward inversion, slowly with the breath, come back to your fold. Nicely done. Release the back of the neck fully. Take an inhale, half lift, tense up on the fingers. Exhale, hands frame your front foot, top of the mat, and we'll step it back to downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. From down dog, inhale forward to plank, lower chaturanga or to the belly. Cobra or up dog. Exhale, hips back, Adho Mukha Svanasana. One more inhale here. And on the exhale, lower to the knees. Find your tabletop. Stack your hips over knees. And then move through a few rounds of cow-cats on your breath. Just take this time to smooth the breath back out before we take that sequence on the breath. You're also welcome to find child's pose instead. Few more rounds of Ujjayi breath here. And if you did move to child's pose, meet us back in tabletop. Gaze between the thumbs, tuck the toes. Deep inhale, press down through the palms. Exhale, hips up and back, downward facing dog. One breath cycle here, and then we'll take that sequence on the breath. From down dog, inhale, right leg up and back. Exhale, step between the hands, lower your back knee. Inhale, reach the arms up, low lunge. Exhale, right arm down the back leg. Inhale, reach both arms high. Exhale, palms to heart center, twist to the right. Inhale, reach the arms high. Exhale, plant the hands inside the front foot. Inhale, lift up on the back toes. Exhale, walk your hands, long edge of the mat, wide-legged fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, walk your hands to the back of the mat, lower your right knee. Inhale, reach your arms up, low lunge. Exhale, left arm down the back leg. Inhale, reach both arms high. Exhale, palms to heart, twist to the left. Inhale, reach the arms up, low lunge. Exhale, plant the hands inside your left foot. Inhale, lift up on the back toes. Exhale, hands to the long edge of the mat, wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back. Exhale, hands to the top of the mat, step it back, downward facing dog. Beautifully done. From down dog, inhale to plank, move through your flow. Meet me back in Adho Mukha Svanasana. From down dog, we'll be moving to child's pose in a moment. If you've had enough intensity, lower the knees now. Otherwise, we'll take a few rounds of breath in dolphin. For dolphin, lower to the forearms. Keep your forearms parallel here. If this is too intense on the shoulders though, you can interlace the hands instead. Head stays off the mat, shift your gaze to the toes. Lift as high as you can on the toes. And then start to tiptoe your feet any amount toward the elbows. Really press down through the forearms here. That'll lift the weight out of the shoulders. Shishulasana. This is a great shape to work toward holding for a minute in your home practice, especially if you're interested in inversions and arm balances, and even just moving through flows. If you're feeling very stable, option to inhale, lift the right leg up. Exhale, lower the right toes. Inhale, lift the left leg up and back. Exhale, lower. If you're still in dolphin, one more inhale, and then lower to the knees, legs together, untuck your toes. This time we'll send the arms back. Traditional child's pose. Forehead to the mat. Flip the palms up and breathe. And then just take a moment here, reflecting on your practice. Maybe you felt more moved by holding that sequence on the breath, or maybe you enjoyed it more with the longer holds. Just notice what resonated for you. One more breath cycle here. With an inhale, reach the hands forward, press up to hands and knees, and send the hips back, downward facing dog. Maybe feeling some more length in your down dog here. And then take a deep bend in the knees, walk the hands back toward the feet, forward fold at the back of the mat. Inhale, half lift, Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms out and up, palms touch. Exhale, release the arms, and we'll move towards standing balance. If you're newer to yoga, you're welcome to find a wall where either hand can brush the wall. Otherwise, at the back of the mat, hands to hips to start. We'll move toward crane pose, Bakasana. To start, grounding down through the left toes, spread your left toes wide. Next, inhale, lift the right heel. Stay here or draw that right knee all the way to the chest, strongly pointing the toes. In crane, everything drawing toward the middle of the body. Stay here or reach both arms up, and then let the fingers release to left and right. Gaze, drishti is straightforward and soft. If you wobble out, just come back in. Pressing through that left big toe here will help you with balance. Good, and notice if your weight is shifting to the right towards your bent knee, draw it in toward the left leg. Good. Next, inhale, lift the right knee just a bit higher. Exhale, release. Shake out the legs, tap it out. If you're using a wall, you can stay right where you are. And then otherwise, hands back to the hips. This time we'll ground down through the right foot. Spread your right toes wide. With an inhale, lift the left heel up. Stay here or draw the left knee all the way to the chest. Inner thighs energetically draw together. Really point your left toes here. And then option to reach the arms up. Let the fingers release to the sides. And breathe. On this side, notice if the left hip is jutting out, pull it in, draw the weight to that right leg. Beautiful. Bakasana, same Sanskrit for crow pose. Take one more inhale, lift the left knee higher. Exhale, release, shake it out. If you left your mat, meet me at the back of the mat. And then we'll bring the feet nice and wide, wider than hips distance, plant through the feet, and just start to take some windmill motions, letting the hands wrap behind one side and then the other. Slow down the breath. Tapping into that balance of effort and ease, sthira and sukha. Slow that movement down. And then come to face forward, hands to hips, heel toe your feet together. Next, inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, half lift. And then bear crawl your hands forward, back to downward facing dog. This is our last down dog. Option for a flow on your breath. If you're flowing, really slow it down. You can always add an extra push-up halfway down if you like. If you did find a flow, we'll all meet back in Adho Mukha Svanasana. Good, one more inhale here. And on the exhale, lower to the knees. Come to a seat on the mat. And we'll send the legs forward. Inner thighs touching, inner edges of the feet touching. Flex your toes strongly toward the body. And then stack shoulders right over hips. From here, take an inhale, bend the right knee. Plant the right foot either inside the left thigh or all the way outside the left leg. If you do plant it outside, just make sure that right buttock stays on the mat. And then we'll bring right hand behind the body, setting up for a twist. Inhale, reach the left arm high. On the exhale, hook the left elbow outside the right leg, twist to the right. If this is too intense, you can hold that right leg in with your left arm instead. Even as those inner organs compress here, use your breath to twist just a bit deeper. Left leg is grounding down. Marichyasana C. Good. One more breath cycle here. Inhale, rotate forward and then all the way to the left. Plant your palms. Take a couple of presses up and down. Let the back round. And then meet me back in your tall seat. Send the right leg forward. And between sides here, we'll draw soles of the feet together for Baddha Konasana. Thumbs to the soles of the feet. And then work your heels as close to the perineum as you can. Always letting that opening happen first through the hips, and then let the knees relax. Deep inhale, push the chest forward. Exhale, hinge at the hips first, and then fold. Draw your elbows to touch the sides of your ribs, and then relax the back of the neck. You can use the thumbs to keep turning the soles of the feet up, like the pages of a book. In bound angle, eventually working to get the outer edges of your shins and calves to touch the mat. Each inhale, crown of the head reaches slightly forward. And on the exhale, belly pulls in, shoulders roll back and down. Few breaths here, find your edge. Inhale, half lift, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold once more. And with an inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, use the hands, draw the legs together, send them forward and long. And we'll take that twist on the second side. Bend the left knee, plant the left foot either inside your right leg or all the way outside. If you plant it outside, left buttock stays on the mat. Left hand behind the body, sit tall. Take an inhale, reach the right arm high. Exhale, hook the right elbow outside the left leg, twist to the left. Or you can just use the right arm to draw that left leg in. Each inhale, spine lengthens up toward the sky. And on the exhale, strongly contract the belly. We're working to get our gaze all the way over that left shoulder here. Marichyasana C, named for Indian sage Marichi. One more breath cycle here. Next, inhale, rotate forward, and then all the way to the right. Plant your palms, shoulder distance apart, and take a couple of presses up and down. Find your breath. And then meet me back, sitting tall. Send your left leg long. We'll take the full boat pose sequence, Navasana, all the way to the back. If you had enough core work, you're welcome to just recline to the back now. Otherwise, plant the feet together, bend the knees. Bring the hands behind the thighs. So what we often call boat in yoga is actually half boat. So we'll move through half to full all the way to the back. Take an inhale, lift the chest up. Exhale, shoulders back, hover the feet, and then bring them 90 degrees, gaze between the big toes. Stay here or reach your arms forward, palms toward the legs. Ardha Navasana, half boat. Keep track of your stamina at your own pace. We'll eventually straighten the legs, lower to the lower back, reach the hands toward the feet for full boat, Navasana. Really important not to hold the breath here. Option to hold for 4 or 5 more breaths wherever you're at. At any time, you can lower to the back if you've had enough. Good. If you haven't moved to full boat yet, straighten your legs. And if you're still holding, one more inhale. Exhale, release. Backs of the arms to the mat. Bend your knees. Plant your feet nice and wide. And then turn toes out, heels in. Start to let the knees fall to one side. And then through center to the other. A few slow and steady movements like this. For a deeper quad stretch, walk your feet closer to the buttocks. And breathe. Inhaling through the nose, slight pause. Exhaling through the nose, slight pause. Balance out right and left sides, and then meet me back through center, knees pointing toward the sky. And from here, with an inhale, draw the knees into the chest, hug them in, keep the head and shoulders on the mat, and just take any intuitive movements that feel good here. Rocking and rolling forward and back, left and right. This point in the practice, it's a good time to add an extra beat or two to each inhale and exhale, especially after a vigorous flow practice. Now using the breath to cool down the body and to create a sense of inner calm, mental calm. Begin to move into stillness, knees drawn into the chest. Take an inhale here, and on the exhale, soles of the feet toward the sky for happy baby. Draw the knees toward the armpits and then outside the armpits, catching outside feet or legs. You can stay in stillness or rock left and right here. If you have the space, option to catch the big toes with the first 2 fingers. Cap it with the thumb, straighten both legs out wide for a nice lower back release, inner thigh stretch. Few breath cycles wherever you're at. Good. If you found movement, come back through center. And then with your next exhale, draw the knees back to the chest. Send both arms wide in a T. Flip your palms down. Shoulder blades on the mat. Setting up for a spinal twist here. Really important to keep the shoulder blades on the mat, even when you twist. So if you start to feel the shoulder blade lift up, you've hit your edge. Deep inhale, draw the knees in. Exhale, knees up and over to the left, at or above hip height. And then shift your gaze toward the right hand. Let the feet and ankles relax. It's fine if the knees are high off the ground here. You can also always slide a prop underneath if that helps you to relax the legs. Jatara Parivartanasana, reclined spinal twist. Begin to soften the gaze or close down the eyes altogether. Next, inhale, roll to the back, draw the knees in. Keep your shoulder blades and palms on the ground. Another inhale, knees to the chest. Exhale, knees up and over to the right, at or above hip height. Shift your gaze to the left. And check in with your arms here. We're striving to have our arms in the same line, kind of like warrior two arms. And then reach through the fingers. Let the feet and ankles relax. A few Ujjayi breath cycles here. With your next inhale, roll to the back and begin to move toward your Shavasana shape for our final asana. Extending the legs long. You can adjust the distance between the legs here, finding that sweet spot where your pelvis, pelvic floor, and hips can fully relax. Flip the palms up, arms alongside the body. And then tuck your shoulder blades closer together. So you're almost resting on the outer edges of your shoulders here. If you notice the back arching, slide your heels away from the body. Find your longest shape. And then release and relax the physical body into the mat beneath you. We'll take one round of lion's breath here. For lion's breath, we'll inhale through the nose and then stick out the tongue, scrunch up the face, loudly expel the air. Preparing to inhale here. With that exhale, let go of your Ujjayi breath. Close the mouth back down. Actively let the abdomen relax. Release that constriction in the back of the throat. Eyes are closed. Face relaxing to left and right sides. Collarbones releasing to left and right sides. And I'll revisit that quote with which we began our practice once more as we move into Shavasana from The Heart of Yoga by Jessica Chad. The practice of yoga gives us the chance to experience many different meanings of the word yoga. We have already described yoga as a movement from one point to another, higher point that was previously beyond our reach. It doesn't matter whether this shift comes about through practicing asana, through studying reading, or through meditation. It is still yoga. In our practice, we concentrate on the body, the breath, and the mind. Although it's theoretically possible for body, breath, and mind to work independently of one another, the purpose of yoga is to unify their actions. I will chant us into Shavasana with one round of Om. As I chant, go inward and simply enjoy this shape in quiet and stillness. Om. Om Harau. Om Hari. Om Haru. Om Harai. Om Hara. Om. Om Harau. Om Hari. Om Haru. Om Harai. Om Hara. Om. Shanti. 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 With your next inhale, begin to deepen the breath. Once more, feeling the belly rise and fall. And as you feel ready, introduce small movements to the hands and feet, fingers and toes. Gently roll the neck back and forth, up and down. You're always welcome to stay in relative stillness. When you feel ready, move toward a full body stretch, interlacing fingers, reinvigorating from hands to feet. If it feels okay on the knees, eventually drawing both knees to the chest and rolling to the right side body. Taking a few breaths here in this liminal shape before rising to a seat. When you feel ready, eyes closed or gaze soft, press yourself up to a seat. And we'll meet as we began our practice. If you took half lotus in the beginning, maybe opposite foot on top. Whatever your seat, lengthen the spine up. Lightly roll the shoulders back and down. And then we'll bring palms to heart center, Anjali Mudra, pressing thumbs to heart, heart to thumbs. The light within me honors and respects the light within each of you. Thank you. Mil gracias. We bow and say a word. Namaste. Whether you join live or on YouTube, really glad to practice with you. And as always, I welcome your feedback and questions by email, Facebook, YouTube. I'll just quickly show the book from which I read today. It's a pretty philosophical, kind of a headier book on yoga. So if you're into the philosophy part, I really recommend it. And there's also lots of photos of Desika Chad doing all kinds of poses. So super interesting read. Thank you so much and hope to practice with you again soon.